And now, WTOE Radio Live, brought to you by throughoureyes.org.
This is Cheryl Echevarria of Echevarria Travel, your one-on-one travel agent making your travel dreams come true, home of the independent traveler. Whether you're sighted, blind, or disabled, whether you use a cane, guide dog, or sighted guide, Echevarria Travel will get you there safely. Come and learn more about traveling independently.
Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go.
Hello, everybody. It's Cheryl Echevarria of the Echevarria Travel Show. And today is June 5th, 2013. And it's actually the Echevarria Travel Show's first anniversary on the WTOE network. So I want to first thank Lenny and Lori, as well as Joe Ruffalo and the Northeast chapter of the NFB of New Jersey for allowing me to be a host on the WTOE network. And which reminds me, the WTOE network is run by the Northeast chapter of the NFB in New Jersey, and we're run by donations by you, the listeners. So we appreciate you listening in, and if you'd like to donate, you could send a check made out to the Northeast chapter of the NFB of New Jersey and put it in the memo for throughoureyes.org or WTOE network, and send it to 254 Spruce Street, Bloomfield, New Jersey, 07003. Just a little side note, Lenny, if you can hear me, I can't hear you if you're trying to talk to me or anything else. I just want to let you know that. Tonight, when we come back from our 2-minute break, we're talking tonight about how to get into being a travel agent working in the travel profession. Many of you know that I am with a host agency.
Ladies and gentlemen, apparently Cheryl's Skype has frozen, so we're going to be momentarily off the air. We'll play some music until we get her back. We apologize for that. You're listening to WTOE Radio Live. Our shows will start in 30 minutes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and we think we have Cheryl back online, so we'll give this another shot. Cheryl, go ahead.
Hey, yeah, I could hear you now. And yes, we're back. I don't know how much anybody heard, but I was welcoming everybody to my first anniversary show of the Echeverria Travel show. And tonight we have Emily Peters from Montrose Travel, who's my BDM, which is Business Development Manager over at Montrose Travel, who is my Montrose Travel is my host agency, and we will be discussing what a host agency is and what they do for a travel professional and all that good stuff. Are we going to commercial? I don't know. Should I bring Emily on? Emily, are you there?
I am here.
Hey, Emily. Thank you for coming on the show tonight. I what I usually do is I ask my guests to introduce themselves, what they do at Montrose Travel, how long you've been there, and we'll go from there. So tell us a little bit about Emily Peters from Montrose Travel.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to thank you for having me on the show today. I really appreciate it, and congratulations on your one-year anniversary. I think that's great.
Thank you.
My name's Emily Peters. I'm the Business Development Manager over here at Montrose Travel for our hosting program. That is the branch of Montrose Travel that works with independent travel professionals who want to start their own home-based travel agency, but don't want to go it alone. So basically, I'm the frontman for that program. I've been with Montrose going on 3 years now, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
Great. I've been with Montrose Travel since 2009. I did have a break for about a year, and being a travel professional, it's very good to have a host agency because, as Emily will explain, what a host agency actually does, and also a little history about Montrose Travel because you're out in California, and unless you're a travel professional, you really don't know who Montrose Travel is and how long they have been in business. But there's a lot of pluses to working with a reliable host agency. So, Emily, can you give us a little history on Montrose Travel?
Yeah, Montrose Travel was established as a retail travel agency here in the small town of Montrose, California, back in 1956. And then in 1972, the McClure family actually bought the local agency, which was basically failing at the time, and they turned it around. That was Joe Sr. and Leora McClure, and they turned it into a successful travel agency. And about 20 years later, their two kids, Joe and Andy. They wound up purchasing the agency from their parents, and at the time they had grown it to about a $6 million company, and then between then and now it's grown to be about a $165 million travel management company, and Andy actually heads up our hosting division, and that's really her baby and her wheelhouse.
Yeah, Andy and Debbie and everybody in the HBA or home-based agent support area, it has been really wonderful. And when I first came as a travel agent, I actually know an existing agent that's with Montrose Travel to this day. His name is Maurice Shackelford, and he's down in Georgia. He's with the NFB of Georgia, and he owns Peachtree Travel. We're all our own small business owners. We're independent contractors. And if you see on my emails or my website, it says affiliate as an independent contractor with Montrose Travel. That's what we're talking about. Emily, usually when I'm talking to people about what a host agency is, it's basically our administrative support, our back end office of our agency. Am I kind of hitting the nail on the head there, or do you want to alleviate a little more exactly, or should I? Let's start over. Somebody that's looking to go into the travel business, and somebody calls you on the line, what is the information that they give that you're giving to a client to let them know, especially somebody who's never been a travel agent before, what would they expect to find when they're calling in and speaking to you?
Well, I think just in general, the idea of a host agency is a little bit strange at first. It's a really unique setup. It's basically, if someone has a desire to build a business from home, they want to start their own travel agency, but they don't want to go it alone, they can partner with a host, and the host essentially takes care of all of the main components, all the risky things that need to be in place in order for you to establish a legitimate agency and allow you as the independent agent to really focus more on working with your client, developing your knowledge. So the host handles things like the seller of travel licensing, the bonding that's necessary, any training that's involved, technology, website, back-end accounting, that kind of stuff. The overhead, the things that could sort of intimidate someone from beginning an agency, partnering with the host is a way for you to start your own business with a lower risk, and having a partner behind you so you don't feel like you're in this alone and kind of sort of doggy paddling, trying to figure your way around the whole new industry.
Exactly. Like when I first called up, and you have agents calling in like, oh, I've never been this before. What I usually tell my clients is that when they're looking, I also have some sub agents working with me as well. That's when you got basically the best of both worlds. You're working with an existing travel professional, and you also have the Montrose Travel there also working with you at the same time. And, when somebody comes to Montrose, comparing going alone, like there are many certifications you need as to being a travel agent, like CLIA. CLIA is the Cruise Line International Association, or IATA, which is to use to book hotels and airlines. And a lot of times you need a lot of education in this field to get the cards and the certifications. Years ago, somebody could just call up Clear, get a card, and just get discounts as a travel professional. Nowadays, you can't do that. You have to pay a certain membership every year. Like Emily said, you need to be bonded. You have to, if you want to sell travel insurance, if you want to sell airline tickets, you need all that information on you to sell the product. You also need to learn what the products are, meaning the cruise lines, the resorts, the land destinations, and what you call Montrose offers the suppliers and the training on almost a daily basis. So can you go into a little bit about the training and the what somebody gets once they sign up with Montrose?
Yeah, we do our training live online. So essentially, if someone has access to the internet, they're going to be able to get plenty of training. We train anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week, depending. And the 3 things that we hit each week is we're always going to do something that's called our Jumpstart series. The Jumpstart series is actually something that we developed based on the feedback from agents who were new to the industry, things that they said they really wanted to have more information on, just areas of concern. So we put together what's now become an 8-part series that we run on a cyclical basis. So every 6 weeks, we'll have completed this series and we'll start over again. And that handles all the core fundamentals. I mean, it's everything from how to qualify a client, how to research a reservation, how to report a booking, how to contact suppliers, how to market your business, really the core foundation that you'll need so you make sure you get off on the right foot. So we'll always have one of those each week. Then we'll have something procedural. It could be on how to sell a Disney package. It could be on how to develop a group travel business or plan a destination honeymoon. It could be on all kinds of different things. So that's actually ongoing. There's always going to be something new sort of in that area. And then we'll always have something on a supplier. One of the best ways to equip yourself and to sort of increase your confidence as a new agent is to really get to know the suppliers that you'll be working with and that your host has strong relationships with. So we highlight a supplier, and that could be it could be a cruise line, it could be a tour operator, it could even be a travel insurance company, and we'll actually bring in a business development manager from that company, and they'll give all kinds of updates on their products, on sales techniques, on any new promotions that are going on, just to keep an agent really up to date on what's going on in the travel industry. So the training that's involved is a huge aspect to our program, and we think it's key to our agents' success. So there's definitely a lot that's available to them.
Also, we, because I'm under Montrose, have a great website that is dedicated for our clients. So when you're looking for us through our website, I use my booking engine actually on my existing website, and when somebody sees my tab, it says search booking engine or specials, it goes directly to my Montrose Travel website. That's one of the things you get when you become an independent contractor with them, and part of your annual contract is that you get a live booking engine, which means if I'm going to ECHEVARRIA Travel's website and I want to book my own airfare, I don't have to call up Cheryl Echevarria. I could actually go on ECHEVARRIA Travel's website, book my own airfare. If I need help, I could call up Cheryl and, either help me walk through it or I can do it for you. It also lists many other things like travel insurance, things going on in the industry. If there's any things going on like how cancellations of your trips, if you want to investigate a resort, all that information's on there. As well as on the back end, as a travel professional, we get information as well, so we could pass it along to you. If we know there is a new CEO with a supplier, we could let you know, hey, Oceana Cruise Line has a new CEO, or if something new is coming up in the industry, we have the first-hand knowledge and we can put it out there to our clients. So we get a lot of detailed information to pass along to our clients. Also, I want to say, as Emily was saying about suppliers or topics and everything else, in the past, I have actually done a training webinar, and I'm going to be working with some people in this support area to work on more accessible travel, how to train a travel agent to work with people with disabilities. In the past, I've spoken about working with people with guide dogs. In fact, many NFB members are listening to this. The very first time I did this was with Marian Guizdala, who is the president of our guide dog division. So, they're very willing to help, to listen. A very supportive company, Montrose. I have to say, Emily, since I've been with Montrose, I could pick up the phone or email, and no question is stupid. It's almost like working with your family there. So Montrose is a very good company to work with. I know there are other competition out there that you could work with, but there's also some out there that are not the greatest host agencies to work with. I just wanted to see what else I wanted to say. Yeah. Can you go into a little bit about the contract and everything, that it's a year to year, and any other advice somebody would come and you would give them about going into the profession?
Yeah, in terms of the contract, we do work on an annual basis. And one of the reasons behind it is we really want to be able to have the time to establish a relationship with someone, get to know their business, get to know their goals. That can be really difficult to do sort of on a month-to-month. So essentially when someone joins, they sign up, they pay the initial annual fee, and then they're set for the year. There's no other required monthly fees. So it keeps it really simple in terms of any sort of expected expenses and running your business. And then just in terms of advice for someone who, has sort of been toying with the idea of maybe getting involved in travel, there's a few things that you can do to learn more. I mean, I would say really get an idea of, what your goals and your visions are for your business, and look into hosting. Check us out online. We have a great website. It's at www.mtravel.com. It's really informative. There is a very helpful, complete overview right on the homepage. And find out more about whether this is a good fit for you. If you have that entrepreneurial spirit, if you want to be able to help people experience travel on all different levels, if you have that passion, then we can be a really great fit for your potential business. And then of course, reach out to me. I love talking to people. I want to hear more about the visions that you have for your own business, and it also helps me get a better idea of how we might be able to help. Email is great, but I think talking over the phone is a lot better. And even sometimes I'm able to meet with agents in person if they're local to the LA area. So definitely do your research and reach out to us. And like Cheryl was saying, no question is stupid. I think when you're starting a business, there's sort of that apprehension. There's a little bit of that fear because you're doing something so different and really so courageous. And I think that it's worth it to ask as many questions as you need so that you feel comfortable before moving forward. And that's really important.
The other thing I give people that are looking into this business is they ask me, oh, do you have to go to college for this or this and that? No, but I always tell them you should have some business background. You should definitely know your geography. You have to be willing to travel because being a travel agent, that's what we do. I mean, we sell travel, and it's a lot easier to sell something that you know what it's all about. That's my husband and I, Nelson. We cruise a lot. We love cruising. We try out all the different products out there. What I mean, products, the different cruise line, the different suppliers. We're eventually going to move over to Europe. We're trying to plan a trip to Ireland in May. We're going to the Grand Canyon in October with a group. So you have to be willing to travel. You need to know, that Ireland is in the UK and it's not down in Africa somewhere. Your basic geography. Also, being a travel professional, you do other than the yearly contract with Montrose, and these are things you need to think about as well. You need to also think about, okay, I'm going to need business cards. I'm going to need think of my company name. What do I want to call myself? You need to go and make sure the company name is available for you online to use for your website. You need to get your own separate phone line. When you're thinking about going into a business, you're going into a business. You have to think outside the box. I mean, there's plenty of social media out there now: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest. There's many places out there to advertise, but also you have to be comfortable talking to people on the phone. Some agents actually go to the client's home or they meet them someplace and discuss business. So you have to be comfortable. You have to have a decent speaking voice on the phone. And also, like out here in Long Island, Montrose, I have all my business development managers that work for the different suppliers. But, there are trade shows you need to go to and find out who your local person is. And next month, they're doing the annual sandals certification program. So you got to be very actively involved in doing something. The funny thing is when my husband comes home from work, he says, "Oh, well, did you book anybody today?" I said, "But no, I've been blogging. I've been putting things on Facebook. I've been putting things up on the website." So you may not get that. Hopefully, if you're lucky, you get the phone ringing all the time or talking to somebody on on email, but you're actively promoting yourself. What makes yourself different? You got to get out there and promote your business. It's just not going to come to you. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising, but you still want to get out there and try to get, that just like everybody else, they want to have their own business. They want to do their own thing. And, there's times where I'm like looking, okay, I'm not making any money this month, but you have to have a passion and a love for this business.
Cheryl, excuse me, but your talkback, your piece is not working. I wanted to let you know that you have a caller on line 1, and we have 4 minutes till our commercial break.
Okay. We have a caller on line 1. Hello, are you there?
Hi, I'm here. This is Tracy.
Hi, Tracy Inman.
Yes.
Tracy Inman is actually my sub-agent, and she's also a independent contractor with Montrose Travel. And how are you tonight, Tracy?
Hi, I'm doing great, and I'm just wanting to call in to share with our audience that I've been with Montrose Travel and ECHEVARRIA Travel for 3 months as of yesterday. I've learned so much starting up Inman Travel under ECHEVARRIA, and I really think it is wonderful to have a host agency, and I really love our host agency.
Well, thank you, Tracy. We appreciate you calling in and giving that feedback to our listeners. Emily, when we come back, we're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, I'd like you to stay on a little more. I'm hoping we're going to get a couple more callers coming in, and then I'm going to talk about a little bit about the NFB convention and also my 2-day cruise on the Breakaway. So stay tuned. We'll be going to take a 4-minute break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Keith Zhao, your announcer here at WTOE Radio Network. We're going to take a little bit long with this break to save our files for podcasts. So don't go anywhere, because there'll be more of the ECHEVARRIA Travel Show in just a bit.
Come with me, let's go.
Hey, Jack, you got a sec?
Yeah, sure, come on in.
Yeah, I was wondering if you... Jack, your hair's on fire.
Yeah, I know. I just need to finish this sales report, and then I'll probably, I don't know, let me lie down for a bit. But I'm sure it'll go away.
But the flames are getting bigger. Shouldn't I... Your hair, there's so much fire.
No, I'll be fine. What can I help you with? Oh, dear. Well, at least we know the sprinkler system works.
You wouldn't ignore this. So why ignore the signs of a stroke? If you or someone you know suddenly experiences numbness of the face, arm, or leg, or sudden trouble speaking, seeing, or walking, don't wait to get help. Call 911 right away, because time lost is brain lost. To find out more, visit www.strokeassociation.org or call 1-888-4STROKE. This message brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Statistics say that 4 out of 10 high school students will drop out of high school. But sometimes the difference between dropping out and finishing is a boost.
I just try to motivate my friends as much as I can. Just get done with that credit. Just get that thing.
If you don't have anybody while you're in school, then there's not really a way to get through it.
I had a very good friend who was thinking about dropping out completely. And I just talked to him about it, told him that it was a stupid idea for him to do that. You know, he's gone so far and he's only got a year left.
There's one girl named Maria. She just told me to get my things straight. She told me if I ever needed anything that she'll be right there. Even my friends that have dropped out tell me, oh, it's staying in school. It's not easy to leave it. You think it's the best thing, but then when you've done it, you realize that it wasn't.
10 real-life at-risk students are filming their year, so you can see what it's really like trying to get through high school. Go to boostup.org to see their stories and give someone you know a boost so they can finish. High school is hard. Graduating is harder. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Thank you, and we're back. You know, when it comes to fighting crime, he's never going to roll over. He's McGruff the crime dog.
Roll over. You're okay, Joy.
Thanks.
And I got 2 words to make your neighborhood safer.
Uh-huh.
Coffee cake.
Ah, the old poison coffee cake trick. The cook takes a bite, falls down to the ground.
No, it's for your neighbors.
You want to poison your neighbors?
No, never.
Oh, thank goodness.
No, for 25 years, I've been given tips about preventing crime. One of them is to invite people over for a cup of coffee and share the problems you see on your street and what to do about them.
That's great.
You can invite your local police officer to help, too.
You know, I hear they're very fond of donuts.
Oh, that's just a myth.
Oh, well, I'd come to your doghouse for coffee cake in a safer neighborhood.
Now you're talking. You can cut down on crime by not just locking your door, but opening up to your neighbors.
Still, a 10-pound bundt cake dropped on a bad guy's foot could help.
It couldn't hurt. And going to weprevent.org for other tips could help, too.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, Crime Prevention Coalition of America, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
I'm Judy. And my name is Johnny. We're 10 years old and we're blind. Our dreams are to become scientists.
My name is Catherine. I'm 24 years old and I'm blind. I'm currently in law school, and one day I dream of becoming an attorney.
My name is Bill. I'm 74 years old, and I've just become blind. My dream is to remain independent in my own home and not have to go to a nursing home just because I'm blind.
The National Federation of the Blind of New York has been helping blind people achieve their dreams since 1956. Help keep their dream machine running and visit blindnewyorkers.org to make a donation. You can also call them at 718-567-7821. Blind people are your neighbors and colleagues, so learn more about blindness and make your contribution today. Go to blindnewyorkers.org or call 718-567-7821. The National Federation of the Blind of New York. Today's dreams can become tomorrow's realities.
Come with me, let's go.
With Emily Peters, the Business Development Manager of Montrose Travel. And I just want to give out the 800 number to call in. I guess I forgot to leak it out tonight. It's 1-888-572-0141. If you're looking to call in, that is our number, 1-888-572-0141. Before we went to commercial break, we had Tracy Inman, who's from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm in New York, and Emily's in Montrose, California. So you could be anywhere in the U.S. and be a travel agent and work with Montrose Travel, as well as Tracy is my sub-agent, which is she has Inman Travel, but she's also under the ECHEVARRIA Travel umbrella. So technically, we're partners in the business, and you know, we work together, and I do some more one-on-one training with her. And if anybody's interested in looking to become a sub-agent before they make the big move to become fully travel agent, learn all the ropes from more one-on-one, please give me a call at my number, which is 631-456-5394. Anytime, of course, after the show and especially tomorrow. So Emily, like I was saying before we went to commercial break, being a travel professional, you have to have a love and a passion for this, just like any other business. Before you were with Montrose, what is your background experience? Have you always been in the travel industry?
No. I've always been on sort of the administrative side of things. Actually, my first job was in a library, and I kind of went through a couple different libraries, and I didn't want to stay in that for too long. And when I found Montrose Travel and I came in, I interviewed with Andy, I kind of just knew right away that this was the right fit for me. And through actually working with Montrose, I've been able to travel more, which has been fabulous. I actually just got back from my first trip to Italy. Had never been there before. Went there with my sister, and it was great. It was really educational, and I learned a lot, and some of which I'm actually going to be able to put into a training for our home-based agents coming up here pretty soon. But I wasn't in travel before, but I've been in it now for about 3 years, and it's been great.
And I want to say Andy Mazer is she's the president, correct, of the home-based agents. Is that her title? I want to get it right.
Yes, Andy is the president of mtravel.com.
And also, there's some great support. We've been talking about the connection and support you get. There's a whole home-based agent support area that's with Debbie Harose and Rochelle Hoffman and Nancy, and they got 2 more support people. So whenever you call or email support, you're going to get a different person that knows what you're talking about, and to give you that extra, either pat on the back, or if you need that help or you're not sure what you're doing, take a deep breath, give them a call. In doubt, pick up the phone and call them. So that's one of the things I love about Montrose, is that they're there for you no matter what. Lenny, do we have any other calls out there? Okay. I would like to say thank you to Emily for coming on the call tonight. I really appreciate it. I know we had some technical issues going on tonight, but thank you for being a good sport. And hopefully we'll have you or Andy or Debbie again on in the future discussing other aspects of Montrose Travel.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
And we'll send you the link to see the show once it's available. Which reminds me, with the WTOE network, we're on YouTube, we're on Skype. You could call in, which is 1-888-572-0141. I'm sorry, we're not on Skype. I'm coming to you through Skype. I'm sorry. But we're on YouTube, we're on Ustream. Just go to www.throughouroureyes.org, and you can listen live, or you can look at our archives and listen to the MP3s, or look at the recordings on the ECHEVARRIA Travel website to see the videos, or go to YouTube. Tonight, I wanted to also remind everybody that if you haven't done so yet, next month, first of all of us, all the 8 shows that are on the WTOE network is going to be off for the month, so Lenny can have a vacation. And it's also a national convention in Orlando, Florida this year, from June 30th through July 6th. So if you haven't made your reservations, please do so. We're already in the Overflow Hotel at the Rosen Plaza. So if you haven't done so, make your airplane reservations, make your hotel reservations, make your Amtrak reservations. Get ready for the 73rd National Convention in Orlando, Florida. It's going to be really exciting this year. As many of you know, I'm the president of the Travel and Tourism Division. If you didn't know, now you do know. At our meeting, which will be happening on July 2nd, between 1 and 4 p.m., we're having 3 guest speakers. We're having Jessica Snyder from Buffalo, New York, who will be discussing the culture in China and traveling around China as a blind person. We're also going to have Rob Nevin from You Are Able, who created the software ALT, which is ALT, that can help customer service reps as well as travel professionals, whether you're a travel agent or you work either at a cruise line or a reservation system or something like that. And we also have Mark Jones. If you remember from our April show, Mark Jones is the access manager of both Disneyland and Walt Disney World Destination and Resorts. So it's going to be a real exciting meeting going on at convention. So that was that Janet in Tennessee on line 1? Jana, are you there?
How are you?
Hi, Jana. How are you?
I'm terrific. How are you doing?
Fine. How is the weather in Tennessee today?
Hot. And I'm in Nashville, so it's during the Christian music, the country music festival, and I haven't been out in it today, but I talked with a friend who said it was just crazy if you had to be outside today.
I look to go to Nashville. I'm a big country music fan. So, are they having all the music? I mean, who's playing out there? Any big names that our listeners may know that it's actually playing at the festival?
Oh, everybody! It's I'm trying to think who's there. Well, it actually starts, I believe, tomorrow night, or tomorrow. But they've had stuff all week, and they'll have stuff until Sunday night. I know that Brad Paisley is playing at some point, and I believe, Taylor Swift is playing, and I know there's a big concert on Sunday night at LP Field, which is where the Titans Stadium is, and there's a big concert that night. So, but it's a country fan's paradise.
Wonderful. I hope to get there one of these days. The Travel and Tourism does a trip every year, and we're looking to go to Nashville probably in 2014. Anyway,
awesome.
Let me ask you, why did you call in tonight? What is your question that I could answer for you?
Well, and I may have missed this because I had to run into the other room for a minute, but I was just curious as to what the annual fees are for Montrose.
They run about almost $300 a year.
Okay.
But if you're, and I don't know if you understood what that includes, if you really don't have a background in it, there is, if you wanted to become a sub-agent and train under myself, it's $100 a year. But with that money, you're getting all the support, you're getting your website, you're getting all the training from soup to nuts, because you are getting a lot for that annual fee a year. You're also getting a commission structure as well. The first year you're with Montrose Travel, you get a 50-50 split. Depending on the money you're bringing in. I mean, there's no quotas every month that you have to make a certain amount of money a month. Believe me, the first couple of months that I was in business, I didn't make anything. So you're relying on everything you sell. You're waiting, let's say, are
you there? Uh-oh.
Yeah, it looks like she froze again. We're having a hard time with her tonight.
Oh, bless her heart.
Yep. All right. We're trying to see if we can get it back. Just hang in there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's see what happens here.
Sure.
It's not. Doesn't look like it wants to connect. Oh, we apologize to everybody, but it looks like Cheryl has a lot of internet problems tonight. Okay, well, it looks like we'll have to end the show early because we're not able to get her. Thank you very much for calling, though. We apologize.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. All right, that'll be it for the ECHEVARRIA Travel Show this evening. We again apologize, and we'll see you next month. The ECHEVARRIA Travel Show is brought to you by ECHEVARRIA Travel, home of the independent traveler since 2009, specializing in worldwide destinations for the blind community. For more information on ECHEVARRIA Travel, call Cheryl at 631-456-5394 or email her at reservations@echevarriatravel.com. All words, ideas, and contents expressed on this show are those of Cheryl Echevarria and not necessarily those of the National Federation of the Blind, the Northeast New Jersey Chapter, or the WTOE Internet Radio Network. Until next time, I'm Keith Zally.
Cruise like a
Hi, this is Joe Ruffalo of WTOE Radio. If you are a resident in New Jersey and would like to join one of our chapters or have some more information about our chapters, please contact me at 973-743-0075 or email me at nfbnj@yahoo.com.
Are you stuck in front of your computer listening to our shows? Well, you may be happy to know that you don't have to be anymore. Hi, this is Keith Zalley, your announcer here at WTOE Radio. Of course, you know we broadcast live on throughoureyes.org, but did you know we simulcast on Facebook, Ustream.tv, as well as all of our show's host websites? And now you don't have to be stuck trying to catch your favorite show on your computer. You can listen or even watch our shows live right on your smartphone or iPad. During broadcast nights, just point your phone or iPad browser to our mobile site, m.throughoureyes.org, and click on the Listen or Watch Live link. WTOE also offers many smart apps for your iPhone, BlackBerry, Android, Windows Mobile, or Nokia phones, iPads too, all for free. Visit our main site, www.throughoureyes.org/appstores.html, and download your free app today.
Advertise your events on internet radio and podcast free. Need to advertise your club or organization's next event? Whether it's one announcement or different ones weekly or monthly, now you can. Throughoureyes.org, using our WTOE Radio Live broadcast and our podcast, give you the ears of the world. You can take advantage of our free offer in one of two ways: recording your announcement on your computer or calling our toll-free telephone number. Visit our website to learn more.
Hi, I'm Keith Zalley, your announcer here at throughoureyes.org. Thanks for tuning in to WTOE Radio's live broadcast. Our recording session will start shortly. While you are waiting, I'd like to ask all our listeners who have not yet registered at Through Our Eyes to consider doing so. Registering helps us ascertain whom our listeners are, where they come from, if they are blind or visually impaired, as well as other important information which helps us guide us in providing programming that will meet our visitors' needs. I urge all our listeners to register today. It's free and only takes a minute to complete the process. Please read our privacy policy so you can be assured that the information you provide stays with us and only us, and you'll never get any unwanted emails. Well, we're almost ready to begin. Since what you are about to listen to is live, after each recording of the show, you'll hear approximately 15 minutes of music. This is the time we are contacting our next guest for the next show. When the show starts, you'll hear it in its entirety. Our recording sessions usually comprise 3 separate shows, each about 15 to 20 minutes in length, with approximately 15 minutes between each session. So once again, thanks for listening to WTOE Radio Live. Our recording session will start momentarily. I'm Keith Zalley.
Hi, I'm Keith Zalley, your announcer here at throughoureyes.org. Thanks for tuning in to WTOE Radio's live broadcast. Our recording session will start shortly. While you are waiting, I'd like to ask all our listeners who have not yet registered at Through Our Eyes to consider doing so. Registering helps us ascertain whom our listeners are, where they come from, if they are blind or visually impaired, as well as other important information which helps us guide us in providing programming that will meet our visitors' needs. I urge all our listeners to register today. It's free and only takes a minute to complete the process. Please read our privacy policy so you can be assured that the information you provide stays with us and only us, and you'll never get any unwanted emails. Since what you are about to listen to is live, after each recording of the show, you'll hear approximately 15 minutes of music. This is the time we are contacting our next guest for the next show. When the show starts, you'll hear it in its entirety. Our recording sessions usually comprise 3 separate shows, each about 15 to 20 minutes in length, with approximately 15 minutes between each session. So once again, thanks for listening to WTOE Radio Live.
Welcome to Stepping Forward, an engaging, no-nonsense approach to life's problems with your host, licensed clinical psychologist Tamara White. Let Tamara's keen wit and straightforward delivery help make sense out of life's complex issues such as child rearing, sex education in adulthood, dealing with the elderly, and so much more. Tamara will inspire, motivate, and amuse you while dealing with real-world scenarios. And now, here's Tamara.
Hey everyone, welcome to June, summertime. And so I wanted to talk to you this month about vacationing. I know a lot of us want to go on vacations. We think of summertime as being vacations. But as a therapist, it's going to be a little different in my world because I think about everyone kind of clearing their mind and dreaming and wishing and wanting and trying to find something new. I think I have talked to you guys about this like 3 different times already about letting go of the old and starting with the new. And I was really trying to debate on what I was going to talk about this month. And I don't have anyone with me today. And so I just kind of thought that we'd maybe do our own little counseling session. I've had so many people in the last 2 to 3 weeks say that they really feel like they need counseling, but that they can't afford it. And so they can come hit and miss, and they're not able to come all the time for some consistency. So I thought we would talk about today what a regular session might look like, and let's just kind of go through a session ourselves. And so let's consider this a freebie. So you have no money for a counseling session. You don't know if you even want to participate in one. I'm going to kind of go over some things today that I feel is really, really important, especially this time of the year. And this isn't just for you all. This is for me as well. Again, summertime, I have kids. I am as excited about the first day of school as I am the end of school, just to be reminded the next day that I'm excited about the first day of school again. So I try to figure out what I'm going to do with myself in the summer, and some of us do not have the money and the means to be able to take big vacations and extravagant as maybe some of our peers, our friends, or people down the street. And so let's talk about what it looks like to be able to vacate from the shoulds in your life, what people tell you you're supposed to be like, and what everything should look like. Let's not do that anymore. So we're going to kind of go, like I said, a step by step, and I'm going to do counseling for both of us and maybe for myself on clearing our mind and getting to the place that we really want to be. We say that all the time, but summer is as good a time as any other to go ahead and go forward with it and try to figure out what we can do. So I'm having a little bit of connection issues on my end, so I'm trying to get everything together here. So we're going to take a quick break, see how things are working, and then let's get started on this first session of our counseling.
Stay right where you are. Tamara will be right back.
When you go to court, you want a lawyer to speak for you. But in an emergency, when you can't speak for yourself, you want Medic Alert. Its emblem alerts your rescuers to call the Medic Alert Network, where they'll find out 24/7 about any medical conditions or serious allergies you have. Medic Alert will also contact your family. When it comes to your health, you want peace of mind. Get the emblem that speaks for you. For more information, call 1-800-ID-ALERT or visit medicalert.org.
What is a hero? Are heroes born, or are they made? In after-school programs, your kids will uncover hidden strengths, discover they have the power to change their future, and find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN. After-school programs, helping kids find the hero within.
I can listen. I can cook.
Good. I can coach.
Kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
I can drive.
I can paint.
I can dance.
A little of your time can make a lifetime of difference.
I can read.
I can help. You can help. Call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313 to find out about community drug prevention programs.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
And now, back to Stepping Forward. Here's Tamra.
Okay, welcome back. All right, so let's get started on this. So we're going to act like we're in counseling session together. I am going to be both the therapist and probably the patient because I could use it myself. Anyway, so I'm not as objective about your own life. I mean, you know, you're not as objective about yours. I'm not as objective about mine. So we're going to try this together and see what this looks like. So I have, again, I was telling you about connection issues. So I have a couple of slides. I don't know if they're going to show. But the first one that I want to talk about are needs, your needs. So when you first get into counseling, what we're going to talk about, this is the famous vacation spot that we all dream and wish that we could be a part of, right? So as we're talking today, in your own little counseling session, let this be your vacation spot to go to in your mind. All right, so my next one. All right, so we're going into the needs. And if any of you, here's my little plant blueprint. If you guys, anybody does gardening or anything like this, you know that these things come with instructions. Even plants come with instructions. Kids don't come with instructions, but we're going to focus on this. All right, so I am a terrible, terrible green thumb. I kill everything that comes my way. People don't buy me things. I don't get flowers. I don't get plants. I don't get any of this. But I decided this year I'm going to try really hard to get a garden going. So looking on this, and I'm thinking about therapy and what a plant needs to be taken care of, it tells you on here. So it's going to list everything that it needs in order to bloom in the most healthy environment and to grow to its full potential, right? So it would stand to reason that if a plant has instructions and can tell people how it needs to be treated, then you and I should be able to do that as well, right? So someone comes into my office and the first thing I say, they're talking about their feelings. They're not going to where they feel like they need to be. And I'm going to ask them this. I ask them, I'm like, okay, so you know this plant thing and it has these little sticks and we all kill our plants. Let's say that you wanted to tell someone what you needed, all right? Needed to live a joyous life. Not to live, all right, but to live joyously. That is a big difference. We all know about shelter and attention and such. But what I'd like to talk about is how you can tell people what you need in order to live joyously. All right. So, and that's very simplistic. And so what I mean by that is, do you need a housekeeper? Do you need 3 days a week of quiet time? Do you need to go to the movies? I'm not saying you're going to get these things. I'm just saying what would make you be the happiest and joyous. And the more that you discuss this and figure this out, you're going to find out that your needs can be met. All right? Use some questions as I would anyone stepping into my office. What are 3 qualities about you? All right, so I want all of y'all to be taking this discussion, these questions I'm asking you solely about yourself. What are 3 qualities about you that you would not give up? Like regardless of what anyone said or they paid you, what are 3 things that you really like about yourself? And again, most of what I'm saying might sound like that's a very simple task, but I have gone 4 or 5 sessions at a time without anyone being able to tell me 2 or 3 good qualities that they like about themselves. So I'm going to task you with this, because how often in a day do you get asked about yourself? What do you need? What do you need to feel happy today? What do you need to make your day better? What do you need to look forward to the future? What do you need? So, having said this, let's get to learn about yourself. So what are 3 qualities that you would not give up? All right? What are you passionate about? Again, people in your mind, they think, I know I'm passionate about. And then I say, what? What are you passionate about? And they don't know. Nobody knows. It's like, well, I know what I don't like. Okay, well then what do you hate? Whatever you hate, maybe the opposite about is then you're passionate about. And that could stand to reason. All right, what nourishes you? What makes it easier to go on? What are some things that you can look forward to and it makes your day better? What do you like in general? And again, these don't have to be big things. I don't start my day without my coffee at all, regardless, no matter what time of day, where I'm at. If I'm waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then that's a different story of why I'm waking up at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. But if I am, then I'm going to have my coffee regardless. What about you? What are some things that get your day going and is come to be found as a norm for you? What is your favorite place in the world? Even in Pretendville, where is it that you would like to be? What is it that you think is the best place ever? And again, I'm asking you all of these things. This entire session is about you, right? And it's getting to know yourself, because I have yet to meet anyone who will sit alone and just do these questions by themselves without anyone asking them to get to know yourself. Everyone, they know themselves really well, but when it comes down to these questions, I think you're going to be surprised. So what is your favorite place in the world? These should be fun things to think about. All right. Do you take risks? Have you taken a risk? What is the biggest risk you've ever taken? All right. And think back to being a kid when you were full of yourself, right? We all first started meeting. I told you guys about my little girl, Emma, who was the little crazy 34-year-old at the time. And I look at her, and when I was preparing for this month's topic, I was thinking, she thinks she can do everything. She thinks she can do anything. She has no limits. There's no boundaries. No one can stop her. When you ask her what she wants to be when she grows up, she really has to think about it, not because she doesn't know what she wants to be, but she has to try to prioritize all of the 20 things. And anywhere, I think, was a store worker. We dream big in my family. All right. So when were you full of yourself? Do you remember that? These are about needs. These are needs, what you need to be joyous, not what you need to survive, but what you need to be joyous. And y'all know y'all are in therapy with me today, so I sound like a big dork and I say a lot of dorky things, but this is where we're going to go for the night. All right. So after you have these questions answered, the next step is we're going to go about what do you know to be true. All right, what is true about you? How do you get to the point that there is truth in your life? You know what people tell you about you. You know what people think about you. You know a persona that you put on for other people. But what do you know to be true about yourself right now in this moment? I can tell you, for me, right now, in this moment, what I know to be true is that I am a little frustrated. I'm a little frustrated with the place I'm at right now and the internet connection and all of this feedback. But I also know that it's be okay. And you have to sometimes break these things down. So what do you know at this moment? So in a minute, we're going to start talking about moving forward. And what do you know to be true? So when we're talking about the process of change, you're talking about what is going on with you right now. Not yesterday, not when you were 10, not when you were 15, not 2 days ago when whatever tragedy struck your life, but what kind of change, what in the process do you know to be true so that you can act on it and move forward? And this is one of the hardest elements to fight because it tends to get into shoulds. Not what is, but what should be. Well, I should be doing this right now for my kids. I should be making dinner. I should be all of these things. I should be working late. I should be all of these things. Those don't come from within you. Those come from the outside. And any self-help book you have, they're going to talk to you about these kind of things, okay? So shoulds are not the knowing, and that is not the truth, all right? So even in trivial situations, what do you know to be true? The answer could be that you know actually nothing. Like even the small events, you say, I really don't know anything that's going on right now. I do not feel comfortable with everything, so I know that that in itself is truth, all right? But your life is mostly a series of small events. So ask yourself on a daily basis, is this really going on right now, or is this just perception? Is this what I'm really feeling right now? Is this really truth? Or is this something that has kind of been pushed on me from someone else? All right. Additionally, as part of the knowing and the sensing about your life, you hear about intuitions, right? You hear about intuitions and the trust, and especially with women, we hear this a lot about women, is the trust your intuition, it knows best. But just as acknowledging what is going on to be true doesn't mean you have to agree with it, you always don't have to follow your senses. So many studies have reported that while intuition is such a big deal, it's kind of a signal that there is something going on. At the same time, we are terrible interpreters of what our intuition is telling us that it means. But the intuition does matter. Your senses do matter. There's something there. So you do need to trust it. You do need to investigate it. Okay. Moving on to feelings. Do we have anything on feelings? Okay, because I just told you my feelings. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling a little angry at this airport hotel. But let's talk about some of the feelings, and I'll come back to a picture after a while. But let's talk about the myths of feelings. So people come into my office and they say, I just can't let go of this. I feel trapped. I feel stuck. I don't know why. Everything is just falling apart. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm crying, and then I wake up to go to work and I'm in a good mood. I think I'm bipolar, which is one of the most thrown around words that I can possibly discuss right now. So having a different feeling throughout the day is normal. Being upset at one moment, being very happy at another, that is not bipolar. It's just having different feelings, all right? So here's some myths about feelings. 1, feelings are irrational. They are inferior to intellect. This is not true. So what this says is, feelings mean nothing. They are just senses that are irrational, blown out of proportion. You can't guide your life by them. You can't steer it, which, again, is not true. Most often we are taught that there's a set of good feelings and there's bad feelings. And the reason behind this is that only logic is worthy. Only logic is worthy of making decisions. When in fact, your feelings are kind of a guide to kind of center where you should be and what you should be doing at the time. Often, too often, especially women, we're taught as little girls and now women that you need to just hold those in, and there's a lot of different mean names for that. Hold these in. Feelings are self-indulgent. What this is saying is that it is very selfish and very self-indulgent to treat your feelings worthy of attention and importance. But in fact, they are part of you. Every time, I mean, think about back in the day when maybe you would negate your feelings or you would shoulder them and put them away somewhere. If you constantly suppress them long enough, you will begin to lose yourself. It causes us to fight an inner battle to hide, and it manages our feelings to pretend to be better. So if we pretend and we manage our feelings, then we're going to feel better, we're going to look better. But in reality, it is very healthy for you to talk about your feelings and to make known that they're actually existent, even if it's just to yourself. All right, another myth about feelings. Feelings are permanent. They can change throughout the day once they are acknowledged. Most people don't think this. They think if you wake up in a bad mood, the rest of your day you're in a bad mood. I'm in a frustrated right now. In a little while I won't be, I hope. But feelings come and go. They change. They are not fact, all right? They have meaning. They're giving you a signal like I just discussed, but they're not fact. That doesn't have to be true. If you have a little toddler who has frustrated you to no end because he or she chooses not to listen to the first 28 times you said no, then that doesn't make them a sassy, spoiled kid. It just means it was a bad day, frustrating feelings on your part, fun probably, entertaining feelings on the child's. Okay, so when you believe your feelings to be facts, you get trapped in them. For example, I know people who come to see me and I say, how do you get over that? Because that would make me so angry. And they will tell me, no, I mean, it would. So I don't even talk about it, because if I do talk about it, I would be so mad that I couldn't handle it. So I just ignore it. And I am telling you that that is not a way of handling your feelings. They congratulate themselves on their self-control when, in fact, there is none. You get trapped in them. Okay? So what does this mean? What does this mean if you've been given permission to have all of these feelings? Then what does that mean for you? Well, it means that mental health is not about being happy all the time. All right? We've talked about this before. When Diane was here last time, we talked about there is no happy pill. You do not get to be happy all the time. That's not even feasible. Believe it or not, you wouldn't want to. I know this is so cliche, as I'm sure you've all heard. But if we didn't have some of the storms and we didn't have some of the bad days, then we would not appreciate the good ones nearly as much. What else? Knowing how hard it is to deal with losses and difficulties, being flexible and resilient, that is still a sign of good mental health. Not just wearing on it and thinking you'll never change. And again, like I said earlier, bipolar. Just being able to adjust, move on, and be flexible. It does help you with mental health. You do have the right to your feelings, even though so many people will tell you no. Okay, so I've talked about the feelings. I've talked about your needs. So we kind of know what it looks like. You have these needs. This is what you want to make for yourself. If you could have your own plant garden and what it would look like, what the card would say, you're going to tell people what you need. And then we're going to talk about the feelings that are going to go along with that. So we finally need to get to the fun part, all right? The fun part is about commitment and wants. Now you get a chance to actually say what it is you want. So I say, what do you want? What do you want for your life? And that sounds so random. It sounds so general that people say, oh, just to be happy. And then we break it apart. What does it mean to be happy? What do you mean you just want to be happy? If you get past that concern that it's something you want, then you're going to find that this should be one of the most fun moments of your life, to be able to go back to being like a kid and to dream and wish and want and to get everything that you don't think that you could do and you could have as a kid. Most of us have unfulfilled wishes that we had as a child. I go back to earlier saying everything. The world was your same dreams tell you that they are pipe dreams or they're childish or foolish. So I'm going to talk about those. We're going to take a break. My signal is running off again. And so let's take a break, and when we come back, I'll see if I can fix some of this on my part and finish up with our therapy session. Okay?
Hi, this is Michelle Paulette from WTOE Radio. We're going to take a few extra minutes while we save our files for podcast, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 4 short minutes.
Amber alert, abducted child, African-American girl, 6 years old. Suspect, Caucasian male, 30 to 35, 6 feet, 180 pounds, wearing blue shirt, black jeans.
Now when an Amber Alert is issued,
White van, out-of-state license, X-ray 687 Charlie.
you can get the same information the authorities get right on your cell phone. Sign up for free at wirelessamberAlerts.org. When an Amber Alert is issued in the areas you've chosen, you'll receive a free text message. If you spot the vehicle, the suspect, or the child described in the alert, call 911. Sign up today at wirelessamberAlerts.org. Think of it. Something as simple as a free text message could free an abducted child.
All units, Amber Alert canceled. Child recovered safely. Suspect is in custody. Repeat, Amber Alert canceled.
WirelessAmberAlerts.org. A child is calling for help. This message brought to you by the Wireless Foundation, the U.S. Department of Justice, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the Ad Council.
Mommy, you sure take the time and do a lot just to keep me safe. Knee pads, baby gates, corner cushions, socket covers, and that fancy car seat for big girls like me. Where'd you find that thing?
The odds of a child being in a fatal automobile accident, 1 in 23,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org.
So, Mom, while you're remembering to protect me from the unthinkable, don't dismiss the possible.
Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
They're going to jump out of trees. They'll go down the slide head first. They'll make parachutes out of sheets. They'll balance on things that are impossible to balance on, like the back of a couch. They'll run with sharp objects. They'll climb things that won't hold their weight. They'll put their fingers in places where they could get smashed. They'll drive their tricycles down steep hills. They'll bounce balls off their faces. They'll step on each other. They'll jump on each other. They'll invent whole new ways to put themselves in jeopardy. But one of the most dangerous things kids will do happens while they're sitting perfectly still. Kids who ride in a car without a booster seat are much more likely to suffer serious or fatal injury during a crash than kids in boosters. But amazingly, 80% of all kids who need them aren't in them. After a toddler seat and until they're 4'9", boost your kids and don't let them down.
Go to boosterseat.gov to learn more about the importance of boosters. A message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Have you ever lost a cat? And have you ever wanted to get your cat back after you lost it? Hi there, I'm Andrew Hoffman. I went on this website called inventnow.org. Then I decided to make an invention of my own. It's called the Lost Cat Magnet invention. So you can get your cat back after you lost it. Just turn it on, and lost cats stick to it. That's a good cat. If your cat was hiding up in a tree, it won't be up a tree anymore. It will be stuck to the lost cat magnet. And sometimes they fly toward you in the air. Just listen to one satisfied cat. See, that's proof. You should go to the inventnow.org website too. But just remember one thing. Don't do a lost cat magnet.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, the National Inventors Hall of Fame Foundation, and the Ad Council.
And now, back to Stepping Forward. Here's Tamra.
Okay, welcome back. We had a nice break. See, I'm already in a better mood. Everything is better. I can feel it. It's gonna work. So do we have a picture of the feelings, Lynn? Okay. All right, so look at this picture, you guys. What do you feel like in this? Any of you? Are you able to look at yourself in this and think how you're feeling right now? Are you trying to maybe think about what other people might think of you or what you might think of other people right now? I'm sure I have some things for some friends of mine and some not so friends. So here's the point. Not all feelings, and I'm not just going to keep harping on this feelings things, but it's so important to me because girls are emotional. That's what we've been told. Guys are not. I just have to disagree with that. I think that guys and girls are emotional. I think it's all in the presentation, and what we have been taught is acceptable and not to talk about. So, you know, again, everything that we talked about before, these are not selfish to have different feelings. They're not going to last all day. If they go back and forth, doesn't mean you're bipolar. It doesn't give you a diagnosis. If you're having a really bad day, it doesn't mean you're depressed. If you're having an awesome day and you think you're amazing, it doesn't mean you're a narcissist. So we could go on and on about this. But I see more often than not people coming in self-diagnosed. The internet is killing me with all of these self-diagnoses, and you can look something up. People don't take medicine anymore because they look something up. They don't go to the counselors because they look something up. Maybe you should. But the point being is that fleeting feelings, and they're fine. Just don't make them who you are. Make them be you. That's not who you are. Okay? Again, to say this, and I'm going to move off of the feelings. Mental health isn't about being happy. Having good mental health is not walking around with a grin on your face all the time. That's just kind of creepy. Okay, let's go on. I have a great next picture for you. Creatures, that picture. You guys know at this point that I have I see nothing, so I'm just going to have faith in my sweet little producer who's doing all of this for me and telling me what's up there. So, okay, so what is this? These are flying monkeys. Flying monkeys. What the heck does this have to do with mental health? In fact, you would hear flying monkeys, that might be a bad thing, right? All right. Looking at flying monkeys is probably a better picture than looking at me right now. So hold that. Can we hold that one up there instead of me? And let's talk about this. This is the fun part that I say. What do you want for your life? What do you want to do? When we go through all of the likelihood that others' opinions are going to follow us and they're going to label us, then let's ignore that, all right?
Because when you become immobilized what anyone else is thinking about you, what you're really saying is that their opinion matters more to you than your own opinion of yourself. And I think if anyone really asked you that, you would deny it. You would say, of course not. Of course I think highly of myself. And of course I don't care what these people think of me. And of course I'm not going to give them so much weight. But I disagree. I think that you might. So you have to acknowledge what it is that you want. So in a therapy session today, someone said, I think I want more for my life. I just don't know what it is. I said, write it down. Let's write it down. What do you want? Oh, I don't know. Okay, well, start small. What do you want today? Well, I don't know. What does that mean? And I said, it means, what do you want today? What are you doing for lunch? I don't know. What do you want to eat? Well, I might not because I'm on a diet. And I said, I don't care. That's not what I'm asking you. What I said is, what do you want? Give yourself permission to ask for what you want. Ask, acknowledge it, and keep it going. So we were there for a good 45 minutes, and she went from talking about what she's going to have for lunch to what she wants to do when she's 10 years from now, what's going to be going on in her life, and how many kids she wants, how many boys, how many girls, what their names are going to be. Okay, obviously you're not going to be able to make some of these things happen. However, baby steps, she really can kind of maneuver and control certain aspects of it, right? So you acknowledge it, you keep it going. If you're having a hard time, like giving yourself permission to want, then again, go back to wants from childhood, to when everything was yours. I want chocolate ice cream, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay? A lot of people may still want that. I do too. I'm not going to have it. I want it. The reality is you're not supposed to be practical when you're coming up with a wish list. A genie gives you 3 wishes, right? I think I was probably 13, 14, 15 years old before I even understood what it meant. Kids would say, more wishes. And I would be like, I don't even get that. What does that mean? You're only allowed to have 3. So don't be practical in this. Everything. The world is your. What do you have to lose? There is nothing to lose. Okay. So you have the power to become anything you want. You just have to set your expectations. It is never too late to have a happy childhood. That is my biggest cliche of the night, I'm sure. But it is never too late to go back and kind of be the grown adult you are and take charge of some of the things that you missed out on. It's not too late to do that. Because if you get so focused on the practicalities of not what is never going to happen or may never happen or what will people think of me and on, then I'm going to say, well, what would it be like if you had never wished for anything? What would you be doing right now? Would you be sitting where you're sitting? Would you be having the job you have? Would you have the clothes you have? What if you never wished for anything and you just sat and waited for everything to happen to you? This is actually a topic I probably could have talked on all night long, but I'm going to bore you intensely if we do that. So what I want you to do is I want you to have a truly joyous potential in life. And after you list your wants, go back and say, what do I know to be true about this want? And when you figure that out step by step, you may obtain it, or you get closer to it, or you figure out that I want this amazing car. And then the next step is to think about it, like, what are some things I know to be true about this? I know to be true I don't got that much money. All right, there's a truth. What about I know to be true that this is what it would take me in order to get to this car? I know this to be true that I could get help in this area. I know this to be true that I'm going to be okay if it takes me that long. I know this on. It really is that simple. Simple is not easy, all right? Simple means strategy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does not mean that it's easy to do. Okay, so what is with the flying monkeys, right? All right. So there's a place inside of you that knows that life is
truly not a constant battle between you and others. There's something about you that knows, I know I'm not supposed to be waking up fighting everyone every day. I know that this should not be that big of a deal that my wants or needs affect someone else, because they really don't. People, we talked about this, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, that if we really knew how little people were thinking and talking about us, you'd be amazed. That in itself is a little bit narcissistic, that we think people think about us so much. And again, it's not our business what anyone thinks about us. Okay, so back to all of this. It is actually very good for your kids. If you have children, if you have nieces, if you have nephews, if you work around kids, anything, and you share your dreams, you share your goals, this is very healthy for children to see this. For them to know that even as grown-ups, you can still wish, you can still dream, you can still act on these things, you can move forward with your life. And these are not pipe dreams. This is not just some kind of a fanatical therapeutic approach to life and where everything is nice and right with the world. It really is realistic. Look around you. Everyone you see on TV and in the newspapers and magazines, they've already achieved this. You can too. Why not? You can too. Okay. Again, the monkey story. We have the flying monkeys because when you have these dreams, you need to share them. Send them out into the world. Have your little flying monkeys, whatever it is. This is how I envision it. So now y'all know how my brain thinks. When I think about my goals and wishes and dreams of what I want to achieve and where I want to be and what I want to happen, you have to give them to someone. If I hold them on myself, then I'm only accountable to myself. And I can tell you from New Year's resolutions of losing 5 and 10 pounds, I'm not very good when I'm only accountable to myself. So I take a chance. I take a risk. I throw it out into the world. I envision my little flying monkeys carrying my thoughts, wishes, and sharing with people. I tell you people that sometimes I tell the crazy little now 6-year-old. She's already crazy, so she can't think too much of me. And I share these with people because at the very least, there's a spark of something, and it makes it real to me, and it makes it real for the universe. It's out there. It is now out there. So that, I want you to encourage you to get your own flying monkeys. That's really kind of sad, huh? All right. Next slide. Do we have a creation thing out here? All right. All right. So keep calm, create on. Here's what someone told me this last week. Again, everything that I'm talking to you about, and you know, I do apologize for the video and audio and all of this. This is totally on me, and this is my issue. But I was really excited about this because she was saying, do you think that people are just reactionary rather than creation? And I was like, well, I don't know what you mean. And she said, well, I think a lot of people react and are reactors to their lives. And, you know, rather than the creators, which is very, again, cliche, but if you look at the word creator and reactor, it's the same letters. They're just interplaced throughout. And it just reminds me yet again that you really, really can do whatever it is that you want to do. And I just can't say this enough. And it can get into a big, long sermon if I would so be allowed, but y'all don't want me to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm still too frustrated to be nice enough to do a sermon. So just want you all to look at that. This is kind of what I do on a daily basis with my clients, my patients that come in, is that we really do try to go over this. And the goal of therapy, the goal of, I hope, life itself is for not just to live, but to be as joyous as you could possibly be. You really are the creator of your life.
And too often we let everyone get in our way. We let them dictate what it is we should think about. Should is one of my most hated words. I hate to hear people talk about shoulds and ought tos and all of these good things, because they're so judgmental, and it really has nothing to do with you. If your kids, you think, oh, well, my kids really know me. I don't know that you know you, so how could your kids really know you? Okay, so I'm probably going to cut this short tonight because, again, I am having so much audio and visual difficulties. I am truly sorry. I was really looking forward to kind of going in depth on some more areas, but I'm unable to do so. So please forgive me for that. We are going to take a break for the month of July. Our producers are having very well-deserved vacations due, and we are going to catch back up in August. So what that means is that you have 2 months in order to really do your own vacation work, even if it is in your mind. Think about it, acknowledge your feelings, go with your needs, think about your wants. It's really fun. You know, again, I can't even imagine that anything that we've discussed could harm you in any way. So if it can't harm you, you might as well go for it. And if ever you guys want to call in while we're sitting here on live, then call in August. Let's look forward to it. I have some people who sent me email questions, and I appreciate very much, and am unable to process those tonight. So let's look for call-ins if you want in August, emails, whatever is going to work for you. So have a safe summer, have fun, and I will see you in a couple of months.
Stepping Forward with Tamara White, a licensed professional counselor and clinical psychologist, was brought to you by the WTOE Radio TV Network at throughoureyes.org. For more information on tonight's show, or to reach Tamara directly, you may email her at twhitecounseling@yahoo.com or visit twhitecounseling.net. That's twhitecounseling.net. Special thanks to the numerous individuals and families that have stepped outside of the box to enlist assistance through therapy. All words, ideas, and comments expressed on Stepping Forward are those of Tamara White and not necessarily those of the National Federation of the Blind, the NFB of New Jersey, or the WTOE Radio TV Network. Until next time, I'm Michelle Paulette.
You done it again.
That's all, folks.